Greetings, my excellent friends. The Dead Monk welcomes you to Purgatory. So I saw this article, and I don't have a whole lot to say about the article itself. It's just it got me thinking. All this epic exclusivity, where's it going? And this article's about Bandai Namco saying they're not into that whole epic exclusivity thing, and good on them. But this isn't about that. So this had me thinking, where's this going? And I thought, there's only one logical conclusion to all this stupid epic fight for exclusivity, and that logical conclusion is this. Google Stadia exclusive push potential players to data centers. This is the logical conclusion. Look at television. What happened with television and streaming? Well, first there was Netflix. And Netflix was pretty darn good when it was new. But over time it slowly had less and less content, to the point where, I gave up on Netflix years ago. And there's hardly anything there anymore. It's basically their own programming and then, a little bit of other stuff. I even heard recently that they don't even have user reviews anymore, Captain Marvel style. But, Netflix, it's still okay. I don't subscribe anymore. But here's the problem. You have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Amazon. Soon there'll be Disney Plus. You have other streaming services. Doesn't Warner Brothers have one? I don't know. There's so many of them. So if you want to watch everything, you have to subscribe to so many services, you're going to pay more than you paid in cable. It's ridiculous. Right? But it was pretty clear for a while this is where it was going to go. Now, those might get whittled down. Some of these streaming services might fail and get bought up by bigger ones, and eventually you may only have 3 or 4. But nevertheless, you have to subscribe to all those. Whereas if you just buy your media, you pay for it once and you're done. No subscription. That's how games are currently. But Google wants to change that, and if we follow the same path, well, we're going to have the same result. So I didn't even know there were any exclusives for Google Stadia planned. But when I thought about it, I looked, and this says here that there are a few games. Orcs Must Die 3 is going to be an exclusive to Stadia, and a couple other games. So here's the problem. Let's say, alright, once streaming games becomes a thing. Right now you just have Google Stadia. Well, I did a little video on stream, but that's all retro gaming. But, let's say that Epic starts doing streaming. Right? Stops letting you download games and play them on your own computer, they make you stream them. And let's say Valve does the same thing. So you have Google streaming for games, Epic streaming games, Valve streaming games, CD Projekt Red streaming games with good old games. EA, let's say they do their own streaming, and Bethesda, and Ubisoft, and Activision Blizzard. Let's say all these companies do their own streaming. Okay? Well, now what's the problem? Let's say each one of these companies, you only have 1 or 2 games you want to play. Well, not only do you have to buy the games, you have to pay every single one of those companies a monthly subscription fee in order to play them. So in the end, you end up paying $50, $100 a month just to have access to 1 or 2 games on each of these different platforms. It's ridiculous, but this is the logical conclusion. This is where it's all going. I will not buy into this whole game streaming nonsense. No, I want to buy a game, download it on my computer, and play it on my computer. Not stream it. Streaming isn't too bad for video. Although, as I said, I'm not into that. I buy my media. I purchase it on disc, or maybe I purchase it digitally and download it to my computer, but I have it myself. I don't require the internet to use it. And there's so many places where you won't even be able to use Google Stadia. Now, maybe eventually we reach a point where everyone's internet is good enough to use all these services, but I do not want to pay a $5 to $10 a month subscription fee to Google and Valve and Epic and EA and Ubisoft and Bethesda and Activision Blizzard and whoever else, Microsoft, Sony, maybe Nintendo decides to start streaming video games through the internet as well. Oh, now I have that subscription fee every month as well. No. No, no, no. Just let me buy my damn game. Let me keep it. Let me have it on my computer. Let me play it without the internet streaming the game to me. So, this is the future I don't want to see in games. Maybe you think I'm crazy and that this isn't going to happen, but like I said, this is the path television, video streaming has taken. Games could very well do the same thing. Google Stadia is just the start of it. Not a happy future. So, if you made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing. And don't be bad for gaming, don't be like Google Stadia or Epic. Instead, go out there and just be excellent to each other. Farewell.